Anytime the head of State Farm, biggest employers in the state, and one of the big wigs at GE, those are awfully big companies. When they get behind something, that's got to spark some interest.
I hope so, because the truth is I think that Common Core standards are an unbelievably important change, both certainly for Illinois, something that's been a while in coming. A lot of local energy and effort is reflected in those standards, and I think there's a great opportunity and moment in time here for us to really rethink what do our kids really need to know. Let's get rid of the stuff that they don't so we can concentrate more deeply on what they do, including doing a better job of assessing their higher order thinking skills and the stuff that we know is going to matter out in the real world.
I'm a parent. My kid's high school, 7th grade. I talk to a lot of parents about Common Core. Not a lot of them are sold. Should they feel more comfortable that big companies are lining up behind this?
I think what they should know is that it's not just big companies. It is also, you've got, the teachers, and there's a Common Core coalition in Illinois. You should go on the website and take a look. But you've got the state teacher unions, the management groups, major districts, the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association, the United Way, a whole bunch of other community organizations coming together. I think that's what people should sit up and take notice of, is that you've got people from every walk of life and every corner and part of caring and educating our kids coming together and saying this is something important and we want to both do it and we want to do it right.
Yeah, I'll ask this to the corporations if I get a chance to. Why are the businesses, why are big business lining up behind Common Core? What's in it for them, or is it just benevolence?
I think there's both things that are in it for them, and I think there's some civic leadership going on here as well, because they're also parents and they've got employees that they want to be able to attract to their neck of the woods, and they know that it matters how well educated and how good that school system is, and they've got jobs to fill, that require a more sophisticated set of skills than maybe it did 20 years ago. And what they're saying is that they think the schools can do a better job, and they want to be part of that solution.
Is this still part of selling Common Core? Do you have to convince parents? Or is that job done and this is now, hey, get ready, it's coming?
Yeah, I think it is. We have officially adopted the Common Core standards here in Illinois. They've been in place now for 2-3 years, so we are now in the implementation process. But the implementation process is a serious one. You're seeing a change in the expectations on the ISATs, for example, and that's something that the more that parents understand why that's happening, what it means, and why it's ultimately a good thing for their kids, the better. So the more information that gets out there, the better for everybody in our view.
I'm going to ask this question to Chris Cook. It's one of the reasons I came up here today. That and the shrimp on the salad bar, which, by the way, way to go, super classy. Parents are going to see those headlines and say, half the kids are reading at grade level. That's supposed to make me feel better about Common Core, that my kids are doing worse?
Well, I think that's not quite the right way to think about it. And it's a little more than half, or it is more than half. I'm a parent myself. I've got kids in the public schools here in Illinois, and I would want to know as early as possible if there was something wrong. If my kid has somehow gotten off track and isn't where they really need to be in order to be career ready, college ready, but when they get to 12th grade, I want to know that as early as humanly possible so I can start helping and I can work with the school to make sure they're getting what they need. Right now, we haven't been getting that information to parents as early as possible. You don't really find out, or you didn't used to find out in Illinois until high school. And then it's just flat out too late to do what you might need to do. So I may not be happy to find out that my kid isn't exactly where they need to be, but it gives me a chance to actually get to work and get them back on track, and that's fundamentally good news.
But bottom line, parents are going to see this with Common Core. My kids aren't doing as well as they were.
It's not Common Core. The truth is this was a problem that's bigger than Common Core. The shift to Common Core gave the state sort of an excuse, if you will, or a reason to relook at expectations and to integrate new material in. But the truth is we've needed to adjust our expectations on the state exam, having nothing to do with the Common Core. So it really, they may get blurred in people's minds, but they really are two separate and distinct decisions and issues.
Let me ask you the one question, and we'll get back in. The one question that I didn't have an answer for, I was at a high school football game. A friend of mine found out I was a reporter at the state capitol, asked me about Common Core. She says, under Common Core, my kid can get the answer wrong, but if he can explain why he got the answer wrong, he's correct even though he's wrong.
That's a little bit of a misunderstanding. What sort of the Common Core set of standards does, they say there's several things that we want to be sure that gets communicated to your child and that they really master. One is, sure, they have to absolutely get the right answer. And if you don't get the right answer, there's going to be consequences for that. And so it's not that it doesn't matter. It's that what also matters is, have you mastered the thought process and the concept underneath it? Because ultimately, as we all know, when we're out in the real world, it's not just applying a simple formula, it's knowing which formula to apply, and it's actually understanding the concept behind us is going to help us tackle new situations when they appear. So what it's doing is saying, I need you to get the right answer, but I also have to make sure that you understand why it's the right answer, because that's going to arm you to tackle a much broader array of things out in the real world and on in life.